Now, did you know that when it comes to Planetside superpowers, most people desires the flight abilities the most? Yes, that is right. While you can just do all these other abilities in real life, you can only experience the levitation in the game by playing the Light Assault class. That is why today, I will go over all the Light Assault playstyles and rank them in the tier list. So let's get started. And as the first playstyle in this list, we have the One Trick Pony. Now these are the NC of VS Light Assault who has this one mechanical trick up their sleeve. That is, they exclusively use GD7F or Serpent, whose stats will automatically be you any 1v1 in CQC. So forget about the basics of the Light Assault, because when you're using these stat checked weapons, it doesn't matter if you don't bother using jetpacks for flanking. It doesn't matter if you engage heavy from the front, and it doesn't matter if a bag causes your screen to tilt 90 degrees, because the weapon's stats will still probably win the fight for you anyway. It's a weapon that, despite the NC arsenal offering all these faction-flavored hard-hitting carbines, some people insist on only using it. Like, why do you play NC and only use the most non-NC weapon? But they are the slaves to the meta. And that is why I'm gonna have to put them on detail for needing the NC re-education. Up next, we have the Roof Campers. Now, unlike normal land-bound infantries fighting the generic boring fights on the ground, every day, Light Assaults fight a fierce battle in the sky over the control of the roof. Because on top of a roof is the uncontested domain of Light Assaults, where you can engage on land-bound casuals from high ground. You can take a stable carbine like Parcel C and camp people from the roof, because the rooftop is the rightful dominion of the Light Assault class. Except it's not 2012 anymore, and anyone can just come up and violate our safe space. With the current cooldown of beacon and aircrafts, everyone just spams heavy and infiltrators on the roof, and they just do a better job at sniping a target. And due to these other classes power creeping its place, I would have to rank Roof Campers modestly as C tier. But thankfully, we have the all-unique Light Assault playstyle that no other class can take its place: Ambusher Shotgun Shooters. Now these are the infamous Light Assault playstyle that uses Ambusher Jetpack to quickly cross the distance and one-shot an enemy with a pump-action shotgun. With this setup, you can really take advantage of all the chaos of the battlefield and jump right in and blend within the enemy line, so you can just chain kill them all before they notice that you are one of them, and with the maxed out Nightmare in front, you can even become the giga-broken flying infiltrator with a shotgun. Now unfortunately, a recent nerf caused the near extinction of pump-action shotguns, but semi-auto shotguns are still strong, and they can still shine, especially with creative attachment choice like this guy. Using slug ammo with a smart choke, which tightens the pellet spread, so you can really tighten the spread of the single slug pellet. It's still a fun playstyle to try every once in a while, but unfortunately I can't rank this high because this too has been power crept with the introduction of Orbital Strike. With the addition of an Orbital Strike, any other class, even Max, can be launched into air like a Light Assault, fly across the sky like a Light Assault, and die to 4 damage like a Light Assault. We can only blame the power creep. And next we have the Drifter Bullet Dodgers. Now these are the Light Assaults who pair up Drifter Jetpack with high airborne accuracy carbines, so you can just drift around in the air and engage on enemy with 3D movement. And it just works because it just completely throws off any FPS muscle memory and they just dodge all the bullets. Now VS's Carbine Horizon and NSO's Directive Reload Carbine Newton both support the best-in-class airborne accuracy and performs great at this playstyle. But when in doubt, you can just equip any carbine with a laser sight and fly circles around the enemy, so you can make the sweaty players regret about their sensitivity settings. And with the only downside of looking very awkward from a side when trying to climb up a building, it deserves a spot in the A tier. And of course, I haven't forgotten about the most notorious users of drifter jets, the C4 fairies. These guys are the banes of existence to any vehicles and max mains. They just magically appear from nowhere only when you're not looking, and then teleport you to the death screen in 1 second. It just feels very unintuitive as someone with Oraxium rocket launchers that can barely tickle tanks. But as C4 fairies, it is just a snap of finger and any tunnel vision tank is just dead. A tier. Meanwhile, drifter jets also has some underdog uses as well. I just found this out when I joined a random Chinese platoon, and I just see a bunch of members slowly moving to the next facility. I thought I was lagging at first, but it turns out it's just a whole platoon of drifter light assaults drifting to the next facility. Like, why do we even bother with logistics when we can just do that? And now that we have gotten through all these cheesy playstyles, we have the Icarus Rocketman. Because these Icarus Jet cheese players are very good at this one thing, launching themselves up in the sky all of a sudden with engagement. And it just works because most of sweaty heavies are rather vertically challenged, and with barely anyone running Icarus Jet in live server, no one really expects the opponents to just rocket jump right from the cover. Now this jetpack does have zero horizontal movement, and you'd have to walk between fights like normal land-bound casuals. But with the ability to elegantly scale up structure stress-free, unlike drifter jets, it deserves a solid spot at B tier. But that is of course only if you do not unlock the true potential of the Icarus jetpack, the impulse grenade surfings. Because apparently Icarus jetpacks thrust so strongly that when you already have some horizontal momentum, it can just let you cancel out the collision and bounce you right off the ground and do some surfing on the land. Now this does take some practice because you have to face sideways every time you activate jets so that the Icarus jet doesn't kill the forward momentum. But when it works, it's like skydiving on X-axis. And thanks to all the impulse grenades being available in many ways, you can now get yourself started anywhere and accelerate yourself at every bounce. Honestly, I always had a fantasy of becoming human cannonball, but I never realized that I could become a human ballistic missile until I tried this playstyle. It is definitely an A tier. And now you might wonder, what can top such power in the S tier? There is Soltec light assaults, but they easily get countered by just a 4 damage. But here we go. In the S tier, we have the underground light assaults. Now these are the subterranean variants of light assaults, probably connecting from Antarctica or somewhere, who just come up from the ground all of a sudden and gun you down. Now you might rage at them saying, it's not fair, like there is literally no counterplay. But we have to cut them some slack, because sometimes they just want to play Planetside from International Space Station. And due to their ability to go underground for no counter ambush, they deserve their S tier placement. And here we have all the playstyles in this video. So just remember that it's a light assault, so unlike heavy assaults with their heavy assault gameplay, we get to enjoy the light amount of salts as a light assault.